The following program is sponsored by the Building Wisconsin Television Network.
Welcome to another project here on Building Wisconsin. I'm Stuart Keith, and on today's show, well, we're touring the new Bucks Arena here in downtown Milwaukee. So let's get started with Ken Kraemer from Building Advantage. Well, Ken, when I found out the show we were doing today, I was so excited. I mean, it was just a year ago that you and I were here on site of the new Bucks Arena in downtown Milwaukee, and it looked a whole lot different than it does today.
Yeah, I would agree, Stu. It's very hard to imagine what we're looking at right now compared to when you were here. If you remember, it took 12 years to get to this point, and a year later, it's just amazing what we're looking at now.
And let's begin today's show by refreshing the viewer's memory. What was here for 12 years?
It was a freeway that we tore down to create a real urban development plan, but during that time, we had a hard time getting to this point. But now as you look at it, it's amazing. I'm amazed at what's going on in Milwaukee, the Bucks Arena, the practice facility for the Milwaukee Bucks, the Milwaukee's parking structure, plus right behind it is going to be the live well going on as well.
Sure, we're blessed to have the new ownership group of the Milwaukee Bucks, you know, really pushing along this development. But Milwaukee is fortunate because it's not just this massive development. There's a lot more development going on in Milwaukee.
Yeah, that's true. I would say what happened is when Northwestern Mutual made the commitment to invest $500 million into Milwaukee, it became a ripple effect. The arena was next. Now we're looking at the Couture going to be built, and there's two parts of the Couture. That could be another $300 million of real economic development, and in my mind creates more workforce development.
And you know, I can't help but look as I see all the professionally trained, highly skilled workforce there building that new arena. And where are all these professionals coming from?
Well, that's a great point. If I told you that right now we're at the highest level of apprenticeship participation in the state of Wisconsin that we've seen in the last decade.
Wow.
So talking about excitement in construction and wanting a career in construction, I think we also turned the corner on everybody realizing you don't have to go to college and getting back to other careers like construction. If you look at the job behind us today, I talked to the construction team, there's over 700 tradespeople on this site alone. If I look at the practice facility for the Bucks and the parking structure, we're getting close to 1,000 tradespeople in a few block area.
And you know, when I have an opportunity to travel and people eventually find out I'm from Wisconsin, inevitably they start talking about the work ethic of the workforce from Wisconsin, and I gotta believe a lot of that has to do with the training that goes on here. Whether you're talking the state-of-the-art plumbers facility, the operating engineers in Coloma, or the new steam fitters facility in Madison.
Sure. Well, I couldn't agree more, and I can tell you what, it makes my job so easy. When I talk to developers from outside Milwaukee or even outside the United States, our commitment to the construction industry is better than anywhere else I've ever gone. We made a commitment with labor and management to say, this is what the value that we provide when we sell a construction project.
And you know, when I'm talking to these people out of state, it gets me thinking, if I'm in Florida and I hire a plumber, versus if I live in Wisconsin and hire a plumber, am I getting the same quality of training in that plumber?
Not in my mind. No, I guess Wisconsin, the plumbing industry has made a real commitment to the residents of Wisconsin to say, your protection is the most important. We want to make sure we're hiring professionals, and that training that you're going to get when you hire them is second to none.
Well, you know, I'm excited to catch up with Peter Feigen from the Bucks. He's going to take us on a tour of the new facility, and I'm sure I'll catch up with you at a later date.
I appreciate you guys coming back. Thank you.
Wow, Peter, what a transformation. I remember about a year ago we were here, and there was nothing. I would venture to say it was desolate, and now it's so vibrant.
Brown fields to steel out of the ground. We're in the middle of 30 acres. I think people kind of get a grasp of what the scale and scope of this is. Not only do we have a new arena that's 750,000 square feet, but we're in the middle of an entertainment district. We've got a parking structure that'll be up over 1,250 spaces and a sports training facility as well as a medical office building, all going online, within the next few months. And with the build out of the entertainment center, you're literally talking about a robust, big neighborhood that never existed. Didn't even exist 12 months ago.
In Building Wisconsin, we like to talk a lot about the transformation that these iconic projects bring to a community such as this area of Milwaukee. And seeing is believing. I mean, it's one thing to see a rendering, but when I get out here and see the curvature of the building and all the workers that you're employing here to help build this, it really is special for this community.
When you walk this building, which we'll do, and you see the trades literally building this from the ground up, and you see how much employment it brings, you see that the real effort to detail and kind of what we're trying to create here. This is one of those special events.
Sure, and what we want to do on today's show is kind of get a tour, if you'd be willing to give us one. And it starts out here, and you touched on a few different aspects. And I recall it started with that new training center beyond the parking garage over there.
Right, we forged an unbelievable relationship with Freighter and the medical college and created a preeminent sports training center for our players, which is really like in our arms race to keep NBA players. How do we design, how do we build, how do we outfit the world's greatest training facility, which we did. And then next to it, how do we also create an asset for the neighborhood, which is a critical care unit, doctor's offices, and some imaging to do it. And of course, we're right at the entrance in the main atrium of our arena, which will open up in just about a year.
Sure, well, we're at the entrance. Do you mind us walking in and getting a peek behind the scenes?
Absolutely.
Wow, Peter, this is incredible. The magnitude inside, you did such a great job designing it outside to fit into the neighborhood, but you walk in and it's absolutely huge, very impressive.
You said it's the wow effect and we're not even built. So how do you walk in here and actually kind of gravitate? The entire building has a transparency where you can see from one end to the other end. You feel a part of the building. Fits about 17,500 people.
Wow, is it going to be enjoyable to watch the Bucks win a world championship right here?
We're going to use this to redefine the Bucks, what entertainment is like in the city, what concerts are like. I mean, this is the magnet for Wisconsin.
Wow, so it's a great user experience in addition to the unique and very special player experience that you guys are trying to create.
No question. We have a players campus in this building that's 30,000 square feet. So when you talk about special places and special treatment, that's one of them. But this begins and ends with the customer. This is about people coming here, loving their experience and wanting to come back.
Well, the wow factor is second to none. But after all, this is Building Wisconsin, and I am wowed by the trade professionals you have building this facility. I mean, how many different tradesmen do you have here?
We have about 750 on site now. It ratchets it up to about 1,000 at its highest moment. But the great thing is it's across 2 years and this project alone, but we have 3 or 4 projects going on. So this is a massive employment opportunity.
Okay, well, let's take some more tour. I'm anxious to see this facility.
So this is our main concourse. This is an open concourse where you can touch, feel, hear the game when you're grabbing your beer, when you're having your hot dog, when you're retailing, or you're just walking the arena.
So Is that what sets this apart from other arenas around the country and really throughout the world? Is its openness?
We wanted to make this fun to be at. So how do you make it a destination? How do you make people socialize? You create open areas. You don't isolate the event venue from the concession venue. You really make it easy to navigate.
And you know, as I look behind you, is this going to be one of the bars that you're talking about? Like you could come here, have an ice cold beer or beverage of your choice?
This is it. We framed out one of the anchor bars with our buddies from Miller Coors, and we will literally be able to grab a beer, go up to the rail, stay here, and still be in the game.
You talk about a full event experience for whatever's going on here, namely the Bucks. I can picture myself having an ice cold beer, watching the Bucks here, and not missing a thing. Now, when we get back to the workers putting this together, I understand it was an RPP project.
Right, and with our partnership with the city, we had 40% RPP. To date, we're 60% through the project, and we've been above that for every reporting period. So we're very dedicated. We think it's a great program. And for Milwaukee, it has Milwaukee residents working on one of the real cool projects in Milwaukee history.
Another example of the sense of pride, not only the people in Milwaukee, but the workers themselves that are building this magnificent facility.
No question, you can walk around this building and people have smiles on their faces, people are building history, people are excited to be on this project.
Boy, well, let's see, I have my ice cold beer here, and I can picture myself coming up here and not missing a minute of the Bucks game.
Sitting on the rail on the main concourse.
Now, is this arena solely for the Bucks, or are there going to be other events here?
No, I would say you're going to have about 200 events, and when we win an NBA championship, about 55 of them will be Bucks games. So think of your best concert, your best family shows, bringing wrestling, bringing boxing, bringing ice events. This will be a mixed-use destination for entertainment.
And you know what really stands out to me are the sight lines. There doesn't look to be a poor sight line in this facility.
No, this was designed for concerts and basketball. The lower section has 10,000 people in it. The upper section has 6,000 people, and the middle section are suites with about 1,500 people. And these are all great sight lines, great sound, great lights. I mean, this is really an event venue.
Well, it's very intimate. Even though we're in the construction process, to me, I can feel how it's closing in. It's going to be very comfy and cozy, and obviously very high end.
I think, again, we start with the customer, so we make the seats a little bit wider, we make the pitch a little bit higher, so people are actually sitting and it's comfortable and they enjoy themselves.
So I'm not going to have to be looking around a guy's head in front of me?
No, we have no obstructions. That I can tell you. There are no sightline obstructions in a new arena, thank goodness.
And to me, I've been to the Bradley Center. This really seems to be a totally different philosophy in the construction process.
Well, I think the Bradley Center served a great purpose, and gave us great lessons. But now it's kind of evolved to how do you create a venue that really promotes socialization, transparency, and really is a magnet. So there's a lot of logistics and a lot of the mechanisms, operations of this venue that makes it easy for concerts to come, that makes it easy to turn over. The way we've created loading docks, the way we've created our electrical, our plumbing, everything else. So we've really thought about everything to attract those type of things.
And a project of this magnitude, obviously, it starts with a vision and then a sound design. And there are a lot of partners in the process.
The greatest thing is a lot of them are Wisconsin-based partners. So we've got everybody from Milwaukee Tool, who's our site partner, to our contractors on the Mortensen side, Icon Venue Group. Findorf has been involved. We've had JP Cullen on the steel. I mean, these great core, Wisconsin companies that have just all contributed together in a collaborative way to get us to where we are.
Sure, and those are all great Wisconsin companies, and at the root of those companies are the highly skilled, highly trained workforce, the tradesmen and women that are helping build this.
We say it every day, it starts and ends with the people. That's how you get this built, without a question.
Okay, well, this appears to be about halfway up the arena. What's up above?
Oh, let's go. We're going to show you one of the most unique venues in the world, the Panorama Club.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Look at that's a full-size crane down there.
This is how do you make the coolest place in the entire arena up in the rafters, which our designers just overdid it. They got it right. You're standing in the Panorama Club.
Well, when I think about other arenas I've been in, you never wanted to be up in the nosebleeds. What are you saying? Up here, it's going to be a hip area to be?
We've created the destination, so why wouldn't you want to grab a drink, sit on the rail, walk this concourse, and be around in a club area with food and bev while you're watching a concert or a game?
Okay, so do I have to be of elite status to be able to come up here in this club area?
You have to be a visitor to the arena.
Really? So it's open to everybody?
This is open to the public during events. This will be one of the special places. We want it to be a destination. One of the things about this whole arena is its openness, its transparency. How do we let everybody and anybody navigate the entire place?
So no matter where your seats are, you have the freedom to walk around and experience a world-class entertainment center.
You do. I mean, we call it very pedestrian and very social.
And you know what I'm proud about, again, with Building Wisconsin, we get to see it, but I think about not only the workers here, but the prefabrication that's going on here. You think of the Bucks, the Milwaukee Bucks are part of Wisconsin. They could be called the Wisconsin Bucks, but the construction process here goes far beyond Milwaukee. I know the plumbers, for example, are prefabbing a lot in Madison.
Plumbers are a great example. The precast cement is right out of Wisconsin. We had one rule. If we could do it in Wisconsin, we did it in Wisconsin. So a large percentage of all the resources came from the state of Wisconsin, and we did that in a really focused way.
That is awesome. Now I'm looking behind you here. Is this a balcony? We can enjoy the sightline of the city?
This is the money shot of the entire arena. At the highest level with the clearest vista, looking east over the city of Milwaukee towards Lake Michigan. And then what people can't imagine yet is we've redefined downtown, which will really be an entertainment plaza right in front of us.
And that is an understatement. I mean, we've shot numerous shows for Building Wisconsin down here at the Germania building and even at the Modern. And I remember when we shot at the Modern, this is really a desolate area. From up here, I remember there was an unsightly parking garage. There were parking lots with grass growing up in the cracks. And now the transformation, to me, it's just invigorating.
I think part of the goals of this and what we've been able to establish is almost a new entrance to the city of Milwaukee. So not only off McKinley, which you've now seen new buildings, you'll see as you drive through downtown on the west side of the river, you will see an entertainment plaza. You see welcoming venues to get it. So this will become the destination that has not existed before.
Sure, definitely a transformation, and I encourage all our residents throughout the state of Wisconsin to come to such a welcoming city, to a state-of-the-art venue. I appreciate you taking the time to give us a behind-the-scenes look.
Stu, a pleasure. Can't wait to have you and the crew back here for a beer and a game.
One of the greatest things about the Bucks ownership and this development is their commitment to safety on the job. The 1,000 workers that are on this site, they're all going to go home at night to their families safe and productive, earned a good living. They're going to retire with dignity. This is just a great example of workforce development, job opportunities done safely. All the contractors are apprenticeship trainers. They signed a project labor agreement with the building trades. So this project is being done with 100% union crafts workers, pension, health insurance, safety standards, all the things that anybody would want on a job site. Again, they are just a tremendous asset to this city and an excellent customer for construction.
Building Wisconsin is made possible by the members of Plumbers 75, proudly serving their contractors and helping build Wisconsin for over 100 years.
We all know the most basic form of life requires clean water to survive. On Earth, we need it to drink, cook, clean, and it touches just about every part of our quality of life. Here in Wisconsin, we appreciate the value of clean water even more as we live alongside the Great Lakes. Yet we often forget to think about how water gets to our homes, schools, and businesses, and then safely back to Mother Nature. Where does all the dirty water go? How is it fresh and clean every time we get a glass of water? Who makes this happen? The answer, plumbers. It's the plumbers who are trained, mentored on the job, and have progressed through a 5-year education program that takes them from apprenticeship to a master of their trade. It's plumbers who are committed to a career and have been trained to protect the health and safety of our water system and make sure you never have to think about where it comes from and where it's going. Yes, we're fortunate here in Wisconsin to have an abundant supply of clean, fresh water. But even more fortunate to have a highly trained and committed workforce to keep and deliver it that way.
Plumbers 75, supporting the plumbing trade in Southeast Wisconsin for over 100 years. With over a century of excellence in specialized construction services and design, Hooper Corporation has become a building leader in Wisconsin, the continental United States, and Canada. A recipient of numerous awards and recognition, Hooper's goal to remain ahead of the curve in construction technology and methods is clearly shown with their involvement in the advancement of Building Information Modeling, BIM, leadership in energy and environmental design, LEED, and lean construction. Dedication, determination, and a commitment to be the best. Hooper Corporation and Plumbers 75. Proud to be building Wisconsin. For more information on Building Wisconsin, follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and be sure to watch additional episodes on YouTube or at our website, buildingwisconsintv.com.
Welcome back to Building Wisconsin. I'm Stuart Keith, and so far in today's show, we've had a chance to tour the new Bucks Arena here in downtown Milwaukee. Now let's continue with Milwaukee County Executive Chris Abele. Wow, Chris, what a view. I just love to see all the trade professionals down there working, and we had a great tour with Peter. This is going to be such an asset to the city of Milwaukee and beyond. Who do you really think benefits from all this development out there?
Well, to your first point, this view. So I actually live in this building, another building trades project, and as I like to remind people, on time, on budget. But I remember looking out all the time in my window, and everybody who's watching right now remembers this used to be essentially a wasteland down here. I mean, it was just open and empty, and we spent, the trades and I and a lot of local electeds down here in Milwaukee, a lot of time in Madison telling them, here's why this is an important investment for not just the city, not just the county, but for the state of Wisconsin. We said, hey, it's not just about the arena or the practice facility, the parking garage, the live block, all the Bucks-related stuff. It's about all the stuff that's happened since then. It's going to catalyze development. So since that time, I like to remind people who are skeptical, the non-arena related projects down here, over 8,000 jobs, over $200 million, that's private money, 100% of the Park East, finally after 15 years, 100%, it's all financed, all committed, it's all going to be developed, and that's just here. It's been spreading north, spreading south. There's never been so many cranes around here in at least 40 years. And all the way back to your first question, who benefits? The state, all of the state. And the reason is because the amount of revenue, the amount of spending, the amount of jobs, the reduction in unemployment, the reduction in services you need to provide for people who don't have work, we've lowered unemployment, and that benefits everyone. So if we know when we work together, we can get stuff like this done, when the city and the county and the state work together, we can get projects like this done. You know, we should be doing this more often.
Yeah, and I've said it many times, not only on Building Wisconsin, but when I travel throughout the state and beyond, that this is something to be proud of. Everybody, taxpayers, business people, everyone in our state should be proud of this, not only the arena, but the whole entertainment district that's going on here and beyond, as you're saying.
You know, the other thing, there's impacts that people don't think about, because right around this area, for people who don't know the city of Milwaukee, the city has developed a lot of new residential projects just going up the river in that direction, thousands. And property values for existing properties, the difference between when you're right next to a big open undeveloped desert and when you're right next to some of the sleekest, coolest, high-value building projects in the state is huge, which means nobody's tax rate goes up, the value of their homes go up, the amount that the city, the county, and the state collect on property tax revenues go up. I mean, these numbers are big, and not everybody understands always immediately what's the big ripple effect of a project like this. But you don't have to be a basketball fan. You don't have to ever come into this neighborhood to be benefiting anywhere in the state from what is happening here.
And that ripple effect will continue to ripple for years to come.
Right, as long as we keep doing, and we will, on time, on budget, as long as people are interested in the development, and it just keeps happening. And the way I see demand going up is the amount of developers calling us up and asking about property, and all of a sudden we've got a good problem to have because we got a lot of competing interests, and so we can be picky and we want good projects, and also we can make sure that they're built well and they involve the trades.
And again, it's something somebody from the Northwoods can be proud of to say, hey, I'm from Wisconsin. Yeah, that's part of my heritage now. Yep. The new Bucks Arena, the whole entertainment district. And I want to finish up with, I can feel your passion. So when you look into your crystal ball 5 years from now, what do you expect to see in this area and the city beyond?
You know, I have an idea about what Milwaukee can be. I moved here a little over 20 years ago from Boston. As I always tell people, I wouldn't live any place else in the world. This is home and I love it. But I think Milwaukee's in a place right now where if we keep the momentum we've got right now, it's not just the development and projects like this that we're going to see more of, but the whole sense of pride in this community starts building back. There was a time when this was the industrial hub of the world. You know, when New Orleans was building giant levees and dams years ago and they needed a 30-foot diameter steel cog just right, there's only one place in the world you can go, and that's here. And this city knew it and the county knew it. Well, we can bring that back. And stay tuned, there's going to be more. It's never been so exciting to be here.
You know, I can feel your energy. I am out there being an ambassador for it. Anybody who is anti-development needs to come down here and understand the truth. This is fantastic for all of us in Milwaukee and throughout our state. I appreciate you coming on.
It's always a blast. Thank you.
For more information on Building Wisconsin, follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and be sure to watch additional episodes on YouTube or at our website, buildingwisconsintv.com. The preceding program was sponsored by the Building Wisconsin Television Network.